Yeah, I got it on, Larry. Yeah. I mean, is the suit jacket really necessary? I feel like I need to be in something more comfortable. Can I get in something more comfortable? Oh, that's so much better. Thank you. Larry, I told you that would be so much better. Jeez. Anyways, now that that's over with, YouTube, what's up? It's me. So, I just walked out of Black Panther 2. In fact, I still have the ticket on me right here to prove it. And I was just going to let y'all guys in on a spoiler-free review here for those of you who haven't seen it yet but want to see it. And I was going to let y'all in on some information about should you see it, is it good, and or is it bad? Who knows? But here's my spoiler-free review of Black Panther 2. As we all know, the tragic loss of Chadwick Boseman did change the storyline of this movie originally. I mean, how could it not? He was the Black Panther. However, I feel like Marvel does a very good job of addressing his death both in and out of this movie. It's kind of what this movie revolves around. This movie revolves around Shuri, Queen Ramonda, and the rest of Wakanda grieving and mourning the loss of their King T'Challa, as well as the figure of Black Panther who was supposed to protect their nation. However, in the midst of their mourning and grieving, they come across Namor. Without getting into too many spoilers here, because this is a spoiler-free review, Namor blames Wakanda for events that happened throughout the beginning of this movie. And he demands that Wakanda fix it, or he will come after them. Now, Namor is a new character here, and personally, I really liked him. He's basically the MCU's version of Aquaman. If Aquaman was evil and Aquaman had a different backstory and a different name and, could fly because he has wings on his feet. So, Anyways, Namor blames Wakanda for something that happens at the beginning of this movie. And he tells them that he needs their help to fix it, and if they don't help, he will come after them. And obviously, I'm not going to get into too many spoilers here, but Wakanda makes a decision, stands by it, and Namor may or may not like this decision. Anyways, another new character we're introduced to is Riri Williams, otherwise known as Ironheart. Now, I feel like that's not much of a spoiler because she is in the trailer. Ironheart is a young female college student who comes into play because she has the engineering and inventive skills of a Tony Stark, which means she's a lot smarter than me. Ironheart does play a crucial role in this movie, and since this is a spoiler-free review, I'm not going to talk about her too much, but I feel like Marvel is setting her up to have a bigger role in future movies and franchises. So I feel like when you're going to watch this movie, I feel like it is important to keep a particularly close eye out for her because she does have a little something special about her. Now, in terms of the plot and the storyline, I feel like the story flowed very well, and you could tell at any given point during this movie what the next step was going to be. Like, you knew what the characters were going to do, why they were doing it, and what it was going to take for them to get there. Which is very good. I love movies with simple plots that you can kind of predict where the movie's going, but you give the movie leeway in case they want to take a little turn here, a little turn there, but you know where the story is going. I feel like that's what this movie does really well. I mean, there were parts that were a little bit slow or a little bit, come on. But there were moments that had to be there to set the mood and to set the tone. Because this movie isn't really one of those comic relief movies like Thor has become and all those other ones are. This movie is a little more serious. And it talks about the mourning and grieving process that everyone has to go through when they lose a loved one. And that's why I really like this movie. Marvel actually had a serious take on a movie, and they didn't goof around and have this goofy, funny, comedic show like Thor, Love, and Thunder was. It's a serious movie that talks about serious issues about mourning and grieving the loss of your loved ones. However, that doesn't mean there was no comedic moments, because obviously they needed those to relieve the pressure of the movie. The series of this movie didn't take away from the good action sequences and the good storyline, because they did have good action sequences all throughout the movie and good storyline and plots and moments that you were like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool, or moments that you're like, oh, snap. And I feel like that's a really good breath of fresh air for Marvel movies now. Overall, this is a pretty daggone good movie. I would say it's toward the upper echelon of Marvel movies, but I wouldn't say it's at that upper S tier of Marvel movies. I would give it borderline A to B tier. And if I had to give it a numerical score out of 10, I would probably give it an 8.9 out of 10, which is pretty good on my scale. I have to say, I'm pretty critical of movies, and I feel like that is a very generous score. If you go see it, let me know what you think, but if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and let me know if you want me to review other movies like this. I appreciate you watching, and have a good one.